Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we're going to learn how to send WhatsApp alerts for successful and failed Instamojo payments. So I am an owner of a business in which I sell different types of educational courses on different topics. I collect the payments from my students with the help of Instamojo. So my objective is that whenever by any of my students a course is going to be purchased and the payment is going to be done with the help of Instamojo, I want to first create a record of all the payment details in my Google Sheets. And with that, I also want to send WhatsApp messages to my students according to the status of the payment being successful and failed. And if I'm going to do this manually, it is going to take me a lot of time. So what I did was I simply created an automation using Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. So here in this automation, what we are going to learn is that whenever by any of my students a course is going to be purchased and the payment is going to be done with the help of Instamojo and we're going to receive the payment, automatically firstly the record of the payment is going to be created in my Google Sheets. And with that, a WhatsApp message is going to be forwarded to my students using WhatsApp by AI Sensei according to the payment status being successful and failed. So if you want to learn about this amazing automation, then let me take you all to my screen. Welcome to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn send WhatsApp alerts for successful Instamojo payments. So I run an online educational platform where we offer various courses on different topics. We use Instamojo as our payment gateway to handle course enrollment fees. Now a student is enrolling in one of our courses on our online educational platform. Once they make the payment through Instamojo, they immediately receive a WhatsApp message confirming their successful transaction along with course details. In case the payment fails, they receive a different message guiding them on how to retry or offering alternative payment methods. Meanwhile, all the transaction details, whether successful or failed, are going to be automatically logged into Google Sheets, allowing us to track payment efficiently and manage our enrollment effortlessly. And we're going to create this amazing automation with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign in to my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the all Pabbly apps window in front of you, in which you can see the 5 applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on Access Now. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right over here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the name of my workflow, I'm going to give it as Send WhatsApp Alerts for Successful and Failed Instamojo Payments. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow. Next, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this field. So after click on the drop down, these are the folders from which I'm going to select Instamojo Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving a name to a workflow and selecting the folder, let's click on Create. In order to create a workflow is created in the name of Send WhatsApp Alerts for Successful and Failed Instamojo Payments, and there are 2 windows in front of you. One over here says Trigger, other says Action. Trigger and Action are the 2 most important steps of our automation process, because our process depends on these 2 concepts over here. Trigger says when this happens and Action says do this. That means our action is response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. Firstly, we're going to set up our trigger step. And for the trigger application, we are going to select it as Instamojo V2. As with the help of Instamojo, I'm collecting the payments of the fees of the course that the students are going to enroll in. Okay, so that is why for the trigger application, I'm going to select it as Instamojo, and for the trigger event, I'm going to select it as New Sale, so that whenever a new payment is going to be done by any of my customers using Instamojo while they are purchasing the course, automatically Pabbly Connect should capture the response. After selecting the trigger application and the event, you can see that Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. With the help of this unique webhook URL, we are going to connect Instamojo to Pabbly Connect. So firstly, I'm going to copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, what we have to do is we are going to connect Instamojo to Pabbly Connect. For that, open the Instamojo account. So this is my Instamojo account, and in this account I have created a smart page for the course in the name of PHP for Programming, and I want that as soon as any of the students are going to purchase this course PHP for Programming with the help of Instamojo, automatically to them according to the payment status, a WhatsApp message should be forwarded. So what we are going to do is we are going to connect this page to Pabbly Connect. For that, click on this three dots and click on this edit page button. As we're going to do that, the edit page of this PHP for Programming course is then going to appear in front of you. We're going to scroll down. Under custom field, you can see it says add webhook. Over here, we're going to toggle this button. As we're going to toggle the button, it is asking for us to enter the webhook URL. So I'm going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us, okay? And after that, it says information to be sent. If I'm going to click on this drop down, there are two options given to us, that is successful payments and the failed payments. So whenever a payment is going to be successful, we want to receive a response. With that, I also want to receive a response whenever a payment is failed, as we're going to send WhatsApp messages to our customers who have done the payment using Instamojo according to the payment status. So that is why for the information to be sent, I'm going to select it as successful payments and failed payments, okay? After pasting the webhook URL and selecting the information to be forwarded, over here we are going to click on the save and update button. I'm going to click on yes. As you can see, it says Smart PHP page for programming is edited successfully. As now this page has been edited, now what we are going to do is I'm going to open my workflow and I'm going to scroll down as it is saying waiting for webhook response. So now what we are going to do is we are going to do a test purchase with the help of this page that we have created using Instamojo, and we're going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of the payment being done or not. For that, what we are going to do is over here we are going to click on this three dots and click on the share page button. We are going to copy this link from here and open it in a new tab right over here. As we're going to do that, you can see PHP for Programming page is then going to appear in front of you. This is the course that I'm selling in my business to all of my students. Now we're going to enroll into this course right over here. For that, click on this enroll now button. It is going to ask for the customer's information or student's information. Firstly, it is asking for the first name of our student. For that, I'm going to write it as demo. For the last name over here, I'm going to write it as lead. For the email over here, I'm going to write it as demolead3@pabblytudes.com, and for the phone number over here, I'm going to write in a dummy mobile number. After filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on this add delivery option button. It says the address. For the address over here, I'm going to write it as 1 New Street. For the city over here, I'm going to write it as Indore. For the pin code over here, I'm going to write in a dummy pin code. For the state over here, I'm going to select it as Madhya Pradesh. I don't want the GST details, so I'm going to not select this option right over here. After filling in all the details, I'm going to click on this proceed to pay button. As we're going to do that, over here it is asking for us to select the payment method. I'm going to select it as card. It is asking for the card number, expiry and the CVV. I'm going to fill in the details of my card right over here. I filled in the card details. Now I'm going to click on this pay 9 button. As now you can see it says the payment is successful. As now the payment is successful, I'm going to open my workflow that I've created and I'm going to check whether Pabbly Connect has captured the response of the payment being successful in our Instamojo or not. For that, I'm going to open my workflow. I'm going to scroll down. Over here, I'm going to wait for a few seconds. As you can see, after waiting for a few seconds, we have received a response of the payment that we have done using Instamojo. Over here, we have detail of the payment for the status of the payment being success. As you can see right over here, for the payment ID, the ID currency as INR, completed at with the date and the time right over here. With the amount that we have paid, that is 9 rupees, with all the other details, the course name right over here, country as India, state as Madhya Pradesh, for a dummy postal code, city as Indore, for the address as 1 New Street, for the phone number as dummy mobile number, name of the student being demolead, email as demolead3@pabblytudes.com. As the response is captured in our trigger step for the Instamojo payment being done, this means that Instamojo is now successfully connected to Pabbly Connect and a trigger setup is done. So now whenever a new payment is going to be done by any of our students using Instamojo, automatically Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of the payment being successful or failed in our trigger step, okay? After setting up our trigger step, we need to set up our action step. Firstly, as the payment is going to be done, I want to create a record of that payment in my Google Sheets that I've created, okay? So it's my Google Sheets that I've created. In this sheet, I want to create a record of the payment being successful or failed in this Google Sheet. So what we are going to do is we're going to set up our action step, and for the action application, we are going to select it as Google Sheets. As now we're going to create a record of our payment details in our Google Sheets spreadsheet that we have created. And for the action event, I'm going to select as add new row. As now we're going to create a new row record right over here, the payment details, okay? After selecting the action application and the event, I'm going to click on this connect button. A new window is going to appear, on which click on add new connection, or else you can select the existing connection. After that, click on sign in with Google. A new window is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the permission. So I'm going to click on allow. As the saved process in my data is perfectly saved with Pabbly Connect, so I'm going to click on this allow button. As you can see, that is fully authorized Google Sheets to Pabbly Connect. After authorizing, it is asking for us to select a spreadsheet. So I've created a spreadsheet in the name of Instamojo payment details, and I'm going to create a record of the payments details using Instamojo in the spreadsheet that I've created. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, for the spreadsheet over here, I'm going to select as Instamojo payment details. After that, it is asking for us to select a sheet. So I've created a single sheet in the name of sheet 1, as you can see right over here. So what I'm going to do is, for the sheet over here, I'm going to select it as sheet 1. After that, it is asking for the payment ID, name, email, phone number, address, city, state, country, pin code, currency, product name, quantity, amount, and payment status. So these are the fields that I've created in the spreadsheet. You can see right over here, payment ID, name, email, phone number, address, city, state, country, pin code, currency, product name, quantity, amount, and the payment status. So these are the same fields that I've created in the spreadsheet right over here as in our workflow that we have created. So for the data of these fields, what we are going to do is we are going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. And how mapping works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, it says Instamojo V2 new sale. This was the previous step of this workflow. And as I'm going to click on it, this was the same response that was captured in our previous step. As over here, it is asking for the payment ID. In my previous response, I have received the payment ID, as you can see right over here. So from my previous response, I'm going to select the data of this payment ID. As I've selected the data from my previous response, the data is mapped, and as I map the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this map data. Okay. Similarly, for the name, I'm going to map the data of the name of my student who have done the payment using Instamojo. For the email over here, I'm going to map the data of the student's email right over here. I'm going to map this data. Similarly, for the phone number, I'm going to map the data of the phone number right over here. I'm going to map it. For the address over here, I'm going to map the data of the address that we have received. So this is the address. I'm going to map it. Okay. Similarly, for the city, I'm going to map the data of the city right over here. I'm going to map the data of the city. For the state over here, I'm going to map the data of the state. I'm going to map the data of the state. Okay. For the country over here, I'm going to map the data of the country. So I'm going to map the data. For the pin code over here, I'm going to map the data of the code right over here. I'm going to map it. For the currency, I'm going to map the data of the currency. So this is the currency data. I'm going to map it. For the product name, I'm going to map the data of the product name. I'm going to map it. Okay. For the quantity over here, I'm going to map the data of the quantity. For the amount, I'm going to map the data of the amount. I'm going to map the data of the amount. And for the status over here, I'm going to map the data of the status of the payment. Okay. So as I've filled in all the required details right over here, I'm going to click on the save and send test request button. As you can see that we have received a response which is a positive response. This means that a record of our payment that has been done using Instamojo has been created in my Google Sheet. So I'm going to open my spreadsheet that I've created. And yes, you can see right over here the record of the payment being done has been successfully created in my Google Sheets. For the payment ID, the ID, name as demo lead, email as demo lead 3@pabblytudes.com. For the phone number, dummy mobile number, address as the address right over here, city as Indore, state as Madhya Pradesh, country as India. For a pin code, dummy pin code, currency as INR. For the course name, the course name, quantity as 1, amount as 9, and payment status as success. So as now the record has been created in my Google Sheets, this means that Google Sheets is now successfully connected to Pabbly Connect, and our action setup is done for the action for creating a record of the payment details of Instamojo in Google Sheets. Okay. After setting up this action step right over here, our objective is also to send WhatsApp messages to our customers who have done the payment using Instamojo according to the payment status. Okay. If the payment is successful, we are going to send a specific message of the successful payment to our customer on their WhatsApp, and if the payment is failed, we are going to send a different message to our customers on WhatsApp. So for creating these two specific conditions, what we are going to do is we are going to add another action step to this workflow. And for the action application, what we are going to do is we are going to select it as router, as now we are going to run this workflow on different conditions that we want to apply to this workflow. Okay. And for the action event, I'm going to select it as conditionally run, and then I'm going to click on this connect button. After clicking on connect, you can see there are two routes given to us, route 1 and route 2. So we're going to set up these routes. We are going to set up these routes according to our requirements. Okay, I'm going to click on the set filter and action steps button to set up the route. Over here, firstly, you have to apply a filter. As now we are going to conditionally run this workflow. So according to the condition that we are going to apply, for that we have to add a filter, so that a route can be first filter out according to our condition, and then the workflow is going to continue. Okay, so we're going to set up our filter right away, which is going to help us to filter out the conditions that we want. Okay, so it is asking for us to select the label, filter type and the value. So for the label over here, I'm going to select the payment status. As per the payment status, we are going to send the WhatsApp message to our customers. So for the label, we are going to select the payment status as right over here for the field select label. Okay, so that whenever the payment status is going to be, that is equal to value over here, I'm going to write it as success. Okay, so that whenever the payment status label is going to be equal to success, then this route 1 should be applied. We are going to create this route 1 for the successful payments. Okay, so that whenever the payments are going to successful, a WhatsApp message is going to be forwarded to the customer according to the payment status as successful. So that is why for the filter we have selected it as whenever the payment status is going to be equal to success, then this route 1 is going to be executed. Okay, so after filling in the required details, I'm going to click on the save as set test request button. As I'm going to do that, over here for the status it comes as success and the message it comes as condition is true, as the condition we have applied for this filter right over here is true. Okay, so as the filter is now been set up for the successful payments, as now this workflow is going to filter out that whenever the payment is going to be successful, only then this route 1 should be executed. Now we're going to send a WhatsApp message to our customers whose payment status is successful. For that, we're going to add action step to this workflow. And for the action application, we are going to select it as WhatsApp by AI Sensei. As with the help of WhatsApp by AI Sensei, I have created a message template with the help of which I will be forwarding messages to all of my customers. So that is why for the action application, I've selected it as WhatsApp by AI Sensei. And for the action event, I'm going to select as send template message. As I've created a template using WhatsApp by AI Sensei, and I will be using that template to send messages to all of my customers. Okay, after selecting the action application and the event, I'm going to click on this connect button. A new window is going to appear, on which click on add new connection, or else you can select the existing connection. Okay, after that it is asking for the API. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open my AI Sensei account and I'm going to find this API key by following the steps given in the help desk. Okay, I'm going to open my AI Sensei account. So this is my AI Sensei account right over here, and from the left side of the panel, to have the access of the API key, you have to click on this manage button. As we're going to do that, from these options it says API key, we're going to click on it. So an API key has been right over here, so I'm going to copy this key from here and I'm going to paste this key right over here in my Pabbly Connect account, and then I'm going to click on this save button. As you can see that WhatsApp by AI Sensei is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect. After connected, it is asking for the campaign name. So firstly, I'm going to open my AI Sensei account. So this is my AI Sensei account, and in my AI Sensei account, I have created a message template in the name of Instamojo successful payments, as you can see right over here. So this is the message, the template that I've created. You can see it says your course enrollment is confirmed. Hello. Next to hello, I have written over here student's name. This is the variable that I've created in this template. I want that in place of this variable, all the values that are required right over here should be entered. So next to hello, I want the student's name. It says thank you for your payment. We are excited to welcome you to the course name. This is the other variable right over here. Your enrollment has been successfully processed. If you have any questions or need further assistance, feel free to reach out to us on this number. Happy learning, best regards. So this is the message that I want to, this is the template message that I want to forward to my customer whose payment status comes as successful. Okay, so what we are going to do is, for this template that we have created, we are going to create a campaign in our AI Sensei account. For creating the campaign, you have to click on this campaigns button from the left side of the panel. After doing that, over here you can see the campaigns page is next going to appear in front of you, and to create a campaign we have to click on this launch button on the top right corner. After that, for the selecting campaign type, we're going to select it as API campaign. Click on this next button. After that, it is asking for the campaign name. So with the campaign name, I'm going to give it as, so this is the campaign name, Instamojo successful payments. Okay, so this is the campaign name that I want to give. And for the template, I'm going to select the template that I've created using AI Sensei for the successful payments being done on the Instamojo. So this is the template that I've created. I'm going to select this template. This is the template right over here, and these are the variable 1 and the variable 2 in this template right over here. After giving the campaign name and selecting the message template, click on the set live button and go to campaign button. You can see the campaign name in the name of Instamojo successful payments has been created, and for the status of the campaign, it comes as live. Okay, as in the workflow it says the status of the campaign should be live of the campaign name that we're going to enter right over here. So for the campaign name, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this campaign name from here. I'm going to paste it right over here because this is the campaign that I've created. I'm going to erase this value from here. So this is a campaign name that I've created. You need to enter the campaign name that you have created using AI Sensei. Okay. Next, it is asking for the mobile number on which you want to send the WhatsApp message to. So we've received the mobile number of our student in our pre-response in the Instamojo step. So I'm going to map the data of that mobile number right over here. Okay. Next, it is asking for the username to whom we want to send the message to. For the username, I'm going to map the data of the name of my customer who have done the payment using Instamojo, as I want to send the message to them. Okay. Next, it is asking for the source and the tags. I don't require the field, so I'm going to skip the part. So in the template parameter field, we need to enter the values in place of which we have created these variables right over here. So in place of these variables, as I want different values for the variable 1, the customer's name, and for the variable 2, the course name. So what we are going to do is, so in this field template parameter, we need to enter the values that we want to replace with the variables right over here. Okay. So for the template parameter, as the first variable that I've created is for the customer's name. So what I'm going to do is, for the template parameter, as I want the name of my customer first, I'm going to map the data of the customer name. Then I'm going to write it as comma and space. And after that, over here for the second variable, we need the course name right over here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to map the data of the course name. Okay. So you need to map the data of the values in a systematic format for the variable 1, the variable 1 value, comma, space, the variable 2 value, comma, space, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many variables you have created in the template? You need to enter the value in that systematic format. Okay. After entering the template parameter, it is asking for the attributes and the URL and file name. I do not require the field, so I'm going to skip the part, and then I'm going to click on the save and send test request button. As I've done that, the status comes as true, which is a positive response. So now I'm going to open my WhatsApp account and I'm going to check whether a WhatsApp message related to the payment being successfully is forwarded to my WhatsApp or not. For that, I'm going to open my WhatsApp account. And yes, you can see right over here, we have received a WhatsApp message. It says your course enrollment is confirmed. It says hello demo lead. So this is the name of the student who have generated, who have done the payment using Instamojo. It says thank you for your payment. It's have the details of the course name, the master PHP in our course. You're enrolled to the course successfully, with the details right over here says happy learning and best regards. So as the message for the payment being successful is been forwarded to my WhatsApp, this means that our route 1 is now been successfully set up. So I'm going to close this route. I'm going to rename this route from here. The name of the route that I want to give it as successful payments. Okay, so this is the route 1 right over here. I'm going to update the name of this route. So as the route 1 for the successful payments is created, now we're going to set up our route 2. Okay, and the setup, and for the route 2, we are going to set it up for the failed payments. So I don't want to create the route 2 from this fresh, from the start. So what we're going to do is, we're going to simply clone this route 1 that we have created, so that we can create the setup of our route 2 very easily. Okay, so I have cloned the route. I'm going to rename this route. The name of this route is going to be failed payments. Okay, I'm going to update the name. So this is the route 2 that I've created in the name of failed payments. We're going to set up this route from here. As we have cloned the route from the route 1, the filter and the WhatsApp AI Sensei step is already been created. Okay, we're going to make some changes in this step, as now we want that whenever the payment status, whenever the payment is going to be done by my students using Instamojo, is going to be equal to not success but failed right over here, then this route 2 should be executed. Okay, so whenever the payment status is going to be equal to failed, this route 2 is then going to be executed. So as I'm going to click on the save and send test request button, you're going to see that for the status it will come as error, and for the message as condition is false. As over here for the payment status in our previous response it is success, which is not equal to failed. That is why for the condition it's coming as false, and for the message as error. But whenever the payment status is going to be equal to failed, this message status is going to be true, and for the status over here it will come as success. Okay, so now the filter step is set up for the failed payments route. Okay, now what we want is, we want to send a different message to the customers of status of the payment comes as failed with the help of WhatsApp by AI Sensei. So what I've done is, I'm going to open my templates that I've created. So I've created another template for Instamojo payment field. So this is a template that I've created, as you can see right over here. And what we are going to do is, for the payment being failed using Instamojo, we are going to forward this template as a message to our customers whose payment status comes as failed. Okay, so what we are going to do is, we're going to set up our action step according to this template that we have created for WhatsApp by AI Sensei right over here. So what we are going to do is, for the campaign name right over here, it says Instamojo successful payments. This was the campaign that we have created for the payment being successful. So now we're going to create a campaign for the payment being failed right over here. So what we're going to do is, we're going to go to this campaign sections, click on this launch button on the top right corner. It is asking for the campaign type. I'm going to select as API campaign. For the campaign name, I'm going to give it as Instamojo failed payment. Okay, so this is the campaign that I've created. I'm going to copy this name from here. Okay, next it is asking for the template. For the template over here, I'm going to select it as a template that I've created for the failed payments of Instamojo. So I'm going to select this template right over here. After that, I'm going to click on the set live button and go to campaign. As you can see that a campaign has been created in my WhatsApp by AI Sensei account and the status is live right over here. So for the campaign name, in place of this successful payments, I'm going to write it as Instamojo failed payment. Okay, so this is the campaign that is created. After that, it is asking for the phone number on which we want to send a WhatsApp message to. I've mapped the data of the phone number of my customer who have purchased the course using Instamojo right over here. Next, it is asking for the username, as we want to send a message to the student who have purchased the course using Instamojo. So I mapped the data of that buyer right over here. Okay, so in my WhatsApp by SNC account, you can see over here I've created two fields, and the two fields are for the customer name and the course name right over here. So as I map the data of the customer name and the phone name for the template parameter right over here, I'm going to leave it as it is, as this is the correct manner in which I want to enter the values of my variables right away in this template. Okay, after that, it is asking for the attribute, URL and file name. I don't require the field, so I'm going to skip the part. After filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on the save and send test request button. As I've done that, you can see the status comes as true, and for the submit ID, the message ID is right over here. So now I'm going to open my WhatsApp and I'm going to check whether a WhatsApp message has been forwarded to my number for the failed payment done or not. For that, I'm going to open my WhatsApp. And yes, you can see right over here, we have received a new message for the payment issue for your course enrollment. Hello demo lead. So this is the name of the student right over here. So you can see right over here, as I've clicked on the save and send test request button, the message for the demo lead has been now forwarded for the issue of the payment right over here as well. And if you don't want to do that, you can simply click on the save button to make changes being saved in this route to that we have created. Okay, so now let us go back to our message. It says hello demo lead. It says we encountered an issue while processing your payment from the course right over here. It seems that the transaction was unsuccessful. Next step, retry the payment or contact us if you need any help or question. Reach out to our support team and this number. We apologize for the inconvenience and look forward to assigning you in the completement of our enrollment. Thank you, best regards. So this is the message that has been forwarded to my number, and this is the message that has been forwarded to us with the help of WhatsApp by SNC message template that we have created. So this means that we successfully set up our route to for the failed payments as well right over here. I do not require this route right over, so I'm going to delete this from here. Okay, so now what is going to happen, whenever the payment is going to be done by refer students using Instamojo, if the payment that is done by student is the status of it comes as successful, they're going to receive a WhatsApp message for the payment be successful in this manner right over here. But if the status of the payment comes as failed while they're going to purchase the course using Instamojo, what is going to happen, they're going to receive this message for the payment being failed right over here. You can see this is the message that is for the failed payment. Okay, so this means that we successfully created an automation between Instamojo, Google Sheets and WhatsApp with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, I am an owner of a business and I sell different types of courses on different topics. I collect the payments using Instamojo from my students. Okay, my objective is that whenever a payment is going to be done by my students using Instamojo, firstly I want to create a record of that payment in my Google Sheets. And after creating the record, according to the status of the payment being successful or being failed, I want to send WhatsApp messages to the student who have done the purchase using Instamojo according to the status being failed and being successful. And I forwarded the WhatsApp message using WhatsApp by AI Sensei. If you want, you can use Wati or Interact to create the message template and forward the message according to a requirement. Okay, so for that I've created this amazing automation between Instamojo, Google Sheets and WhatsApp with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment on below if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video. Not just with these applications, you can create automation with the help of Pabbly Connect between multiple applications. If you have any doubts, you can send us email on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can ask your queries on forum.pabbly.com. If you have any queries regarding the pricing of Pabbly Connect, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions and doubts, and please share this video, and thank you for watching.